Why is online dating so hard? With the overwhelming amount of apps available, the pursuit of love should be easier than ever, right? And yet the search for the one is so challenging that sometimes we can't help but want to give up. I'm sure with 2024 rolling around, some of us may have the goal of meeting or dating more people through the apps. And I want to take this opportunity to open the discussion and talk about some of my experiences and why I think online dating is such a difficult task. Having the option of reaching and engaging more people at the comfort of your phone is great. A lot of my best friends right now actually met their partner through Hinge, Bumble, Tinder, you name it. But that's not to say it doesn't have its superficial moments. Just like all social media apps, online dating can be superficial, chaotic, and sometimes draining to navigate around. With the invention of dating app, all of a sudden we can reach a lot more people. These are people that we would have never dreamt or have the opportunity to meet. People that are just in our town with different skills, talents, and interesting stories waiting for us to learn about. But yet, is more necessarily a good thing? The overwhelming amount of people for you to check out creates an illusion where you are constantly trying to pick the best candidate. We all want what is best for us. Sometimes this mentality hinders our interactions for those that are good for us. The constant pursuit of a perfect partner creates a lot of pressure and a lot of comparison, which may eventually lead to a lack of compassion. And this comes in many formats, like having matched with someone already and yet still scrolling looking for someone that is more interesting or more attractive to you, or texting multiple people at once to see where it leads. All of this creates a draining and difficult mental game for you and the person that is interested in you. My advice for this is to simply stop pursuing perfection. The person that you're looking for in the TV, who is the most attractive partner of all time, which ticks all of your boxes, may not be available online, and even if they are, they may not be interested in you. Just enjoy the company of one other person. There's a lot of interesting stories and intriguing moments that come when you start paying attention and actually giving an effort to engage in conversations. You don't necessarily have to find someone that ticks all your boxes in order for you to engage with them, but rather just find someone that interests you, have a hobby that you want to learn a little bit more about. Because with most online dating, it always starts with being a friend. The game that exists within online dating is not necessarily exclusive to online dating alone. Incredible pictures that range from travel experiences, amazing physique, or just interesting and quirky moments are something we choose to present to a potential partner. Often we would choose to write something that is interesting or intriguing without the risk of going overboard and having people think that we are really weird or really unique, so that we expose ourselves to more people that might potentially like us. In a way, it is almost as if we are performing to an audience. Now, of course, not everyone does this. There are some people out there who are really sure of what they want and therefore are willing to present some really niche pictures or unpopular opinions in the hopes of finding someone that may find that charming. But I think the majority of us are unsure. Unsure about who we are, unsure about what we're looking for. So therefore, the strategy of trying to create a more desirable profile to reach more people is quite a reasonable one. However, it does make things seem a bit more superficial. Just scrolling through social media and dating apps really feel like an eye candy. You'll find the same amazing pictures taken in front of the same lake with the same post, or the same comments about how one ought to love cats, otherwise they wouldn't be desirable. Now, of course, it's difficult to balance this. On one hand, there's an element of strategy, but on the other hand, you may benefit from being more genuine. I think the solution here is just to make a profile that you are proud of. One that you feel like truly represent who you are. It does not necessarily have to present all of you, but what is on there should be truthful. For the purpose of this discussion, I actually think that some dating apps does a better job of allowing users to present a more genuine version of themselves. Like for example, with Hinge, with the prompts and the way you can engage in conversations, it's definitely easier to present a more genuine sense of self than something like Tinder, which is honestly just all eye candy. This part is the part that I find to be the hardest. A lot of online dating comes down to this moment. For me, a lot of thoughts come into mind. One is, am I going to be catfished? Or two is, do I have to pay for that cup of coffee? Or even, how much eye contact should I have? Not to say that that's not an issue on my day-to-day stuff, but when it comes to online dating, there's an expectation of romance that comes into play that sometimes dilutes what we really expect out of meeting someone new. The expectation of a date creates some invisible pressure where one would feel like they'd perform perhaps above what they're usually like. That might come in the form of dressing up a little bit better, spraying the more expensive cologne, or even spending an extra 15 minutes doing the hair. But that's a good thing. All of this has an element of thrill. It's exciting to meet someone that you could possibly spend more time with in the future. And the truth is, it's difficult to see whether or not this person may be suitable for you until you really meet in person and check each other's vibe, exchange a few words, and see if they're still attractive or interesting to you. However, the harsh reality is that the first person you meet through online dating is probably not gonna be your boyfriend or girlfriend. It's gonna take quite a few attempts, quite a few encounters until you meet someone that is right for you. Which is why I think most of the time, you should really think of it as just like meeting a friend. You wanna look presentable, but at the same time, be yourself. One thing I've noticed is that the best conversations really only come out when you're being yourself and relaxed and feeling engaged in the conversation. The factors I talked about is why I think online dating can be a pretty complicated, chaotic, and sometimes really draining environment. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of trial and error. So my advice is just to have fun with it. And as I mentioned earlier, it may take more than one attempt to find who you're looking for. So you want to make sure you're doing it in a way that is sustainable and you're not too drained and tired from going on each and every one of those dates. In order to do that, we just have to be more true to ourselves and really only go for experiences that we think are worth our time. And during those experiences, be as genuine and as sincere as we can. But then again, I'm still single, so take my advice with a grain of salt. Let me know in the comment section below what are some of your online dating experiences are like, and if you have any advice for the rest of us. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you next time.